have not had competent regulation. So we had this rush to innovate, but actually the regulators were outgunned, often not as sophisticated. They weren't paid enough. There weren't enough of them. They were absolutely understaffed and sometimes intimidated by the people that they regulated. I think we have to fix those issues. I think second, I agree with the suggestion that if you take a large institution that's systemically important, a hedge fund, insurer, a bank, I don't care, we have to limit the amount of leverage that they have, because their costs when they blow up are not just restricted to their investors or debt holders or shareholders. We all pick it up. So it's like having big buses on the road. We don't know how the brakes are going to. We're all on the road with these folks. I think third, the incentives for senior managers, key traders, people who get to make major bets in institutions have to be symmetric, or as close as we can get within the confines of law. In other words, we need to take money from their bonus and hold it aside. There need to be clawback provisions. We may need extended liability beyond simply what they've earned from that institution, because otherwise you're going to take a bet with other people's money and you're going to go further with it than you ever would with your own. That's just human nature. The accounting, I'm not an accountant. What I don't understand is if our accounting methodologies were so sophisticated, how did they lead us to believe that all the risks that these banks had taken had been handed off to somebody else, when in fact they hadn't? Whether it was liar loans, over-the-counter derivatives, or these off-balance sheet vehicles where they basically took all this obligation, they put it someplace else so it didn't count for capital, and then they guaranteed the holders of the paper for that thing that if they got in trouble, they could come back and get the money anyway. I mean, people were discussing at lunch, well, what about, should we have more regulation? Well, we're half pregnant. Unless we get rid of all the regulation and say there's no guarantees for anyone, we have to fix these problems.